So I'm having some very cool thoughts, and I wanted to really share these with you. I was really excited to share this stuff. I was thinking about the 90-10 rule, and there's a rule in business, there's a 80-20 rule, but the 90-10 is what I wanted to talk about today and how it applied to my life, and maybe you can see if there's some similarities to you. I don't know if you've ever noticed it, but for me, I felt like 90% of the time I was screwing up around the Narc. I was not doing stuff right. I was, too sensitive. I couldn't remember things. And so I looked at myself as like, only 10% of the time am I really doing stuff right. The other 90% of the time, I'm just screwing up. I'm just, and it's affecting my self-esteem and everything, because I really think that I'm just this person. And when you're around somebody that is constantly feeding that advice to you, or feeding that feedback to you, that validation from you, which is really no validation, validating that you think you're already kind of low or you're not a good person. When somebody keeps feeding that to you over and over and over again, it will affect you. And you may think you've got some control over it, but think of it this way. Think of it as if you're watching this broadcast right now, and I said to you, you can only listen to me and my advice only, and you can't, there's no other sources of information you should ever go to. You should just listen to this broadcast and nothing else. Well, that's a little bit over the top, and most of you, I hope all of you, would just say, you know what, this guy ain't right. I'm not, why would I just listen to one person for my recovery or just for my health? I'm going to listen to whoever I want. And the reason you can do that is because you don't really have a bond with me. I mean, we have you're listening to me, but I haven't moved in with you. I haven't bought a house together with you. I haven't had a long-term relationship with you. So it's easier for you to just say, bye, okay? So what I'm saying is we probably want to do that on a larger scale. And when the 90-10 comes into play is that I'm going to tell you that I discovered after recovering, after going through this and getting better and getting healthier, that I was right about 90% of the time, and I was actually wrong about 10% of the time. And that wrong part is the boundaries and the stuff that I needed to work with. So this is really exciting news, because I didn't know how to express it to you other than using numbers, and that's, chances are, a lot of you think you're 100% or 90% of you is just defunct and you got to reinvent yourself all over again. I'm here to tell you that 90% of you is already good. 90% of you is already good. That 10%, that's what we need to work on with boundaries and stuff, so we don't let these people into our lives again. If you can do that, if you can keep those other people out, then you can still be the same person that you are, only like times 10, only better, like 2.0, because you're a good person, or you're listening to, you're empathetic. And the Narc twisted your brain on those by using those against you for their own selfish purposes. So all you got to do is fix that 10% and learn to just stay the freak away from people like that. And I'm telling you, your life goes so much better. It's so much easier. Because I said this kind of yesterday, is there's this test where if you're around somebody, like somebody you're close to, and they're and you're confused, and you're not quite thinking you get stuff right, then just go talk to somebody else. Go talk to somebody who you don't know real well. I use like the guy at Best Buy, or just going out in public and talking to a guy at the bookstore. I don't know if you've ever been like to Barnes and Nobles and you read books, and then you end up chatting with somebody there. I do that all the time. I used to go to bookstores all the time, and I'd chat with people. But from a complete stranger, I could communicate effectively. Like, I would express a thought, and I was very empathetic. I was very careful to make sure that I gave this person the correct knowledge, and I was always honest with him. In fact, I gave him probably too much information, because on my Narc, I always had to defend myself. I always had to give her all the information. Look, I'm not trying to hide anything. I'm just, look, I promise, blah, blah, blah. Always put on the defensive, right? But you don't have to live like that. You've been trained to live like that. And so what I'm saying is, when I talked to this guy, I would have clear communication. And it was like, okay, maybe I can communicate well. Drive back home, go to the Narc, suddenly I'm just a buffoon. I can't even communicate 2 sentences together without being interrupted by her about how inconsiderate I was, or how mean I was, and I'm like, and then I'd be put on the defensive again. I'd have to defend myself. So I'm just telling you, there's a mind shift, there's a perspective change with that 90-10. That I'm going to tell you that 90% of you is already good. You just have to, like, you don't even have to fix that. You just have to, like, bring that to light, right? Because chances are it's been smushed down. It's been buried thanks to the narc. You've been numbed out. You're afraid to expose, or you're afraid to reveal your true feelings to people now. It doesn't have to be that way. It'll change, but if you're like me, you've been trained to kind of keep your feelings kind of in the vest, like kind of hold them back, because you're afraid if you reveal what you're really feeling, you're going to get attacked. And chances are, you know, if you were in a problematic relationship, you were attacked, and you were attacked for expressing yourself. So now you don't express yourself. But I'm telling you, that isn't broken. You just need the right audience around you to help you thrive on that, to help you bring that out of you again. And it's okay to, but here's the thing, we've been so conditioned, I was so conditioned to, like, making sure I was honest with people and being upfront, and I told them too much. It was TMI, right? Maybe what I'm doing here, maybe this is I don't think this is TMI, because this is something that I can share with you that I think will help some of you, but we don't have to defend ourselves. And it's so great now, because I don't have to defend it. I don't have to defend who I am, or what I said, or how I did things, or what I thought about. I just have to walk away from those people that don't get it. Because again, 90% of me is already there. It's already okay. It's just that 10% with the boundaries that needs to be fixed. So I thought that was a breakthrough. I was shaving this morning. I was sitting there thinking about it, and I'm like, wow, that just hit me. And the other thing that hit me too is that you have more power than you realize. You know, when we're around a narcissist, they pretty much steal our power. They want to be in control. So they're the one in charge of things. They are in charge of your brain, in charge of your life. If you, like me, and you let them, and you didn't have any boundaries, and you let them come in to do that. What I'm going to tell you is, don't tell yourself, or tell yourself you can do anything. And what I mean by that is, if I ask you something, and you immediately say, no, I can't do that. Can you go no contact? No, I can't do that. You know, we got finances, whatever. You can do anything. And what I'm saying by that is, it's just the consequences you might not have thought through yet. And I'm telling you, the consequences are the fears, and the fears aren't as bad as what you might think. Okay? Some of you like, well, I can't go no contact with him. You know, we have a house together, and you know, and it just, you know, we have finances tied together. What I'm going to tell you is, if you want to get no contact with them, if it's bad enough, if you have the desire, you'll figure out a way. You'll go to friends, you'll go to the church, you'll go to a DV shelter, or you'll go somewhere where they can help you put a plan in place. So you can do it. It just takes time and resources. Time, it could be money, it could be getting resources from other people. It could be just, and it could be a plan to go gray rock for 6 months and just, you know, pretend you're having a good time. You can fake them out. It's okay to lie to a narc, by the way. I don't know if you know that. It's okay to lie to a narc when you're protecting yourself. I give you that permission, and I've been given that permission by other YouTubers, and it makes sense. Richard Grandin talks about that. It's okay. If somebody's lying to you, lie back. Use them. Use them to your advantage. It's okay to do that. Well, that's not me. Well, that can be you temporarily trying to protect yourself. You know, narcs do that all the time, except it's problematic for them. It's like 24/7, right? But for us, it can just be just to get out of a situation. Because you don't want to upset them while you're making plans to get away from them. But you can do anything, like, you know, can I open up an ice cream shop here in Dallas? If I said no, then I put self-limiting beliefs on me. But if I said yes I can, but it would take about $250,000 in a franchise. I'd have to pick the franchise, and I'd have to pick a location and make sure the rent's okay. Yeah, I could do it, but I just maybe I have a choice. I don't want to do it because it takes too much time and resources, and the return isn't good. I'm going to say that you want to look at if you can look at things more business-like, like when somebody asks you if you can do something, if you can go no contact, that's a big one. It's a hot button for a lot of people. Can you go no contact? No, why do you say no? You could just, look, you could just get up where you're at now. If the person's in the other room, you could just get up, walk, get in your car, drive, and never have to see that person again. Maybe in court or something, or maybe through an attorney. But you wouldn't have to see that person ever again. Now, the consequences of that, well, if I did that, then I'm probably going to, I'm going to have a more difficult time trying to settle finances or whatever. I might have to work through some attorneys. It's going to cost me money. But you can do it. That's what I'm saying, is you can do it. It's just the time and money issue. And if it's not worth it to you, I mean, what's your mental sanity worth? What's your emotional health worth? That's what you have to look at. If you're in a really, really dark spot right now and it doesn't look any better, you need to cut that person out of your life, because it's so much better on the other side. And it's just, and don't do it because, oh, it's going to be so much better. Do it because it's going to be so much worse if you stay there. I guarantee it will be worse. That's one thing I say, that fear will come true. That fear of them getting worse, and maybe them ramping up the abuse, especially if they think that you've let on. See, now you're getting knowledge here. You're getting knowledge in the groups and from other people and from myself. You're getting knowledge, and the narc kind of knows that. They kind of sense that something's up with you. You got to keep that on the down low. You got to keep it private. So I hope I'm making sense. I just have this, I have passion for this, because I know that so many of you guys are hurting, and it doesn't have to be that way. You have more control than you think. And remember the 90-10. The 90-10. 90% of you, if you're like me, 90% of you is actually okay. It's good. 90% of you is good, and I don't like to look at things as good and bad, but 90% of you doesn't need to be fixed. Okay. The 10% of you that needs to be fixed is just the boundaries, just getting a stronger fence, putting up a 6-foot concrete wall like they have in missile silos or something. So that's my thoughts for today, and I want you guys to really think about this, because you can do it. There's a lot more that you can do that you may not realize, and the perspective you have might not be the 90-10. You might have that I can only do 10% right and 90% wrong. Well, yeah, I had that perspective too. What I'm here to tell you is it's not a correct perspective. You've been lied to for so long that it's still in you, and I'm here to kind of unlie you. I'm here to share more truthful things with you, because I don't have a other than me loving you guys and just wanting to share and have you get better. I don't have skin in the game. I'm not manipulating you. There's no gain in it for me. And so that's the kind of people that you want to be listening to, that don't have a hidden agenda, if that makes sense. So anyways, guys, I've got to go here, but I really was excited to sit down and share this with you today. And you guys know I love you. You guys take care, and have a good one. Bye-bye.